Hello, I'm Lee Twig, and I work for Calhoun County Schools. I have been a classroom teacher in this district, and now I serve at the district office as a professional development specialist. And my goal today is to help you work with your child at home without so much hassle. I know what it feels like to be, I'm a mom, so I know what it feels like to be at home at the end of the day and be worn out, and then it's homework time. And so my goal today is to help you be able to make that time more happy for you and your family. So I'm going to do a screen share so you can see my presentation that I've done with some others. And so we're going to start here. So again, our title and homework is Homework Without Hassle. And I just really want to talk to you from a perspective of a mom and also as a teacher. So hopefully you'll find some of these ideas helpful. So first, I want to introduce you to my own little homework hassle. This is my daughter. And when she went to school in kindergarten, things were just not easy. She cried. She said, I want to go back to my little school. Kindergarten was just a real struggle. I'd never taught kindergarten. This was the first time that I really realized, goodness gracious, what's coming home to children in kindergarten. And it was really hard for her. And so homework time was very difficult. And her teacher at that time said, Lee, I think that it might be beneficial for her to try kindergarten again. We kind of called it the practice year. She was a summer baby. And sometimes summer babies may lack the academic or organizational or emotional or personal, just sometimes they just are a little immature to go. So we did a practice year in kindergarten, and the next year of kindergarten was much better. We were a lot happier. And when Lainey went to first grade, I asked my principal if I could be her teacher. And normally that's not best case scenario, but I really just wanted to see how she learned. We worked well as a teacher-student relationship because she's not an overly needy child. So I said, everybody can call me Mama Twig or you can call me Miss Twig. She's like, I'll call you Miss Twig. So during that year, that was the first time as a parent that I was on the receiving end of my homework. And I will tell you, our homework time was a lot of crying, most of which was me. I was tired. I'd given my best to my work family and my students at school. And so when I got home, it wasn't a fun time. So that's when I really started thinking, okay, I've got to make my home time better, because our home time as families seems to get less and less. We're more and more busy. We're very scheduled. And so I didn't like the fact that our home time was not good home time. So I started thinking about ways I could make that better. And I also started sharing with my parents that year, hey, I'm struggling with this at home, and here's some ways that I'm finding some success, and maybe you will too. So that's really where this session came from. For starters, I began to change the way I felt about homework. We quit calling it homework. We started thinking about it about home enjoyment. What are some ways we can make this more enjoyable? So we start with, okay, it's home enjoyment time. I think it's important that you know what would be a typical homework or home enjoyment time. So the National Education Association says on average, a child should be given about 10 minutes of homework per grade per night. So that would mean that 10 to 20 minutes of homework for K2, an additional 10 minutes per grade level. So if you've got a fourth grader, you should 40 minutes. So I think that's important for you to know as a parent, because if you have a first grader and you're doing 3 hours of homework every night, we need to talk to the teacher. Something is not quite right. Or we're not, things at home should be just a practice of what we've done at school. So if things are taking that long, I really encourage you to talk to your child's teacher. And just remember, we're all on the same team. We're on your child's team. So I think that your communication with your teacher is really, really important. Just be honest and open about what's going on. And so maybe making the teacher more aware is the first step. So here are some great ideas for just establishing a good home enjoyment routine. First of all, make a space. This is our home enjoyment space. You know your child and where they feel comfortable and where learning can happen. For our house, the kitchen table was the best place free of distractions. We don't have technology on, we don't have the TV on. We try to have a calm place free from distractions. And also the child knows this is my home enjoyment working space. You know your child. Your child may be fine to lay on the floor on their belly with paper out and the TV going. For us, it was just a quiet space. When I would allow for some chill out time, maybe after a snack and a drink when your child gets home from school. Your child has been working very hard at school. I promise there's very little downtime, just like you've worked hard at work. So allow them a little bit of a break time to kind of get themselves together. I do caution you, though, to not allow it to go on and on, because the longer the break goes, the harder it is to jump back into the routine. I know if I get home from work and I sit down and I have a snack and I start watching TV, me getting up to cook supper is getting, we're going to have to make do. So I really encourage you to make it okay, you've got 15 minutes, go have a snack, go outside. And I also would encourage you to not allow them to do technology during that break time. It's very hard to get back on track. Establish a routine and be as consistent as you can. You know that times are busy and you may have to veer off, but try to be as consistent as you can. How? Use when then techniques. So let's just say, okay, well, when you can do 10 of those spelling words, then we'll play a quick game. When you get to question 3, then you can have a 2-minute brain break. Take breaks when you need to. Also, if your child can do some things independently, I really encourage you to let them do it. Remember, the goal is their being independent, not you having to do the assignment for them. So be there if they need help, but really encourage them to try things on their own first. That helps you, that helps your child, and it helps the teacher know really what the student knows. And it is okay to leave it and come back to it. If you get frustrated or your child gets frustrated, it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. Take a break. Let's work on something else and we'll come back to this. If you run into problems, let the teacher know, hey, this was really hard last night. We really struggled with this. And remember to praise and reward. Kids are kids, and we all like to feel good about the work that we're doing. So praises and rewards go far in your routine. So making homework fun. First, I want to encourage you to play a game while you study. So some suggestions that I have, I can turn any kind of game into a work game. You can turn tic-tac-toe into a work game, Connect Four. Some of the board games that I really like and I wanted to share. Thank you for your patience. At the thrift store, I really encourage you to pick up any kind of Chutes and Ladders game. I really love Chutes and Ladders because it's a natural hundreds chart. So you get to ask questions. You can, as you're playing the game and we're on number 27, hey, what will you have to roll or spin to get to 30? So you can ask a lot of math questions. If you only have the game board, don't worry about it. You can use anything as counters to move. And if you don't have the spinner, use dice, pick a domino. There's lots of things that you can do. You don't always have to play by the rules. I like this game also because obviously the ladders go up and the slides go down. So it's just a great game. I always pick these up. Dollar Tree even had some of those. They're paper games, but they would be great to use. Some other games that I always pick up Candyland. And Candyland can be for big kids too. I don't really use the color cards anymore. Here on this game board, you can see that I have numbered all of the little spaces. It goes all the way up to 125. So again, you can ask math questions while you're playing. You can say, okay, if you land on one of the candy spaces, you might get to advance 10, or it might be a lose your turn space. Candyland is a great game board because you've got a lot of opportunities. So it's a lot of spaces on the game board to move, so you can play a lot of games. How I do it is you earn a turn. So if, okay, you've got to spell the word drive. Okay, D-R-I-V-E. Okay, great. You got to earn a turn to go. Also, you need to ask your child, play the game with them. Ask them to ask you how to spell words too. So tic-tac-toe is a great game. It's great for strategizing and that kind of thing. So it doesn't have to be something, a new game. It doesn't have to be expensive. There's tons of games out there. Just say, we're going to earn a turn. This is great for any grade. So I could very easily be playing with both my children. One of my children, we may be studying for social studies and another studying for vocabulary. So we can ask questions based on and play as a family. So that's just one tip. And that really helps make your time better. Also encourage you to use music and funny sayings to help with memorization. I know that you probably learned that way, and don't be afraid to make up a funny song and have your child make up a funny song about those things. YouTube is full of great tips and tricks and songs for you to share to learn new content. Also, let them be the teacher and teach you. This is one of the most important things you can do. If your child can teach the content, they know the content. It's the highest level of learning when you can teach someone else. With my own child, he says, hey, I'm going to help so-and-so study for a test. I always let him go, because if he's helping someone else and teaching the content to them, I know he's going to score well on his own test. So allow your child to be the teacher and teach you. It's okay to play dumb. Like, I'm not really sure how to do this. Can you teach me how to do it? And just let them soar. Also, I think you should celebrate effort and positive attitude. Success looks very different for my children. So, and I bet for your children as well. It's okay to have different expectations for our children. For one of my children, C's get degrees. We're going to celebrate the C and the effort that you did to gain that grade. For my other child, you're going to get in trouble for a B, because I don't think you put forth your best effort. Remember, it's okay to praise positive attitudes. I really appreciate the way that you gave your best for 30 minutes tonight, and I'm going to reward that for you. So celebrating effort and positive attitude goes a long way with your students, not just about the 100. So as a parent, you're not going to know how to do everything that comes home. I was a math coach, and there were times I was like, I don't even know how to do this. So it's okay for you most people feel like they're better at reading or math, and that's okay. I do suggest that you don't tell your children like, I'm terrible at math. You'll have to have your dad help with that. Or, I'm terrible at reading. You're going to have to get your mom help with that. It's better just to leave that alone. I think that you're given, we want our children to excel at both. So I think it's okay to say, hey, you know what? I know that this can be hard. Tell them, you know what, I understand that this can be tough, but I know you can do it. That might be a better way to say, I don't know how to do that. I'm terrible at math. If you can't understand how to help your child, which is going to happen at some point, I recommend finding video tutorials and resources online. Typically, I'm a person that doesn't push a lot of technology resources because I think kids are inundated with technology. But as the parent, I do think it's okay to say, okay, I'm going to look up how to do this 6-paragraph writing. Or you may just, it's okay. There's tons of resources out there to help you learn how to do this alongside your child. Also, if you run into trouble, I think it's okay to tell your teacher, you know what, we really tried to do this last night and we just didn't know how to do it. Let your teacher know. She might be able to give you some homework troubleshooting. A lot of times teachers are doing their own videos, or they can share other resources that can help you guide to get that help that you need. So, did you know that reading to your child 20 minutes a day can increase their lifetime earnings by $320,000? What? Despite knowing that data, only 18% of new parents read to their children for 20 minutes a day. So not only sometimes having your child read to you, but reading to your child builds so much vocabulary. It builds a bond between the parent and child, creates just lots of imagination and creativity. Go for it. The importance of reading to your child: improve language and vocabulary skills. Yes, they learn so much new vocabulary by listening to books being read to them. prepares your child for academic success, develops a special bond with your child, increase concentration and discipline, improves imagination and creativity, and it cultivates a love of reading, which we want our students to be lifelong learners, and reading is a part of doing that. So just remember, you've got this. You're going to do a great job. If I can be of any resource, my name is Lee Trigg. You can find me at the Board of Education, and I just appreciate all you do for your child. Thank you so much, and I hope that you have a great day and a great summer. Thanks. Bye.